Gising na ba kayo? Hinihingal pa ako dun sa ating exercise, Gitoski method, pampagising and also to maintain our better posture and our physiological state. Our theme for today is change your story, change your life. Do you want to have a better life? Pasang kamay? You want a better life? Of course, I know you have a good life already, but it can always be better, right? Do you want to be more passionate, more energetic, more hopeful, more happy, more fun, more entertaining if you like, more purpose-driven? Gusto niyo ba yun? Taas ang kamay. All right. We all want a better life, always, every day, and every year. This year, 2022, for sure, most of us, we have a New Year resolution. Anyari sa New Year resolution nyo? Anyari sa diet, more studies, more exercise? Okay ba? Natutuloy ba? Or more or less lang? So we do strategies. We have strategies to make our lives better. But strategy alone is not enough. We need to change also our state, our story, then our strategy. I invite you, if you have a ball pen and notebook, write it down because it helps in retaining in our mind, according to science, being active listener by writing down. Not necessarily we need to go back to our notes, but we can write it down. State, story, strategy. Remember the right sequence because the sequence matters. Like the dog bites Pedro is different from Pedro bites the dog, especially if you are Pedro. So very important, the sequence is state, story, strategy. Most of us, we just focus on the strategy. We want to do like 10 minutes or 30 minutes exercise every day, every 7 a.m. in the morning. Or we want to pray like for 10 minutes every 8 o'clock in the morning. I will take a bath na every day. We have different strategies. But sometimes we find ourselves not being able to accomplish what we want, what the changes we want in our lives. And now I would like to share with you the secret. Before we change our strategy, we need to change our story. Because in our story, there's the failure sometimes. Because we say to ourselves, we tell to ourselves, this story is like, I will never change. I am a lazy person. I cannot wake up early morning. Or I am unworthy. I am stupid. I am guilty. I am bad. I can never make it. So these stories are blocking us to live out these changes that we want in our lives. So no matter how good the strategy is, if the stories we have in our mind are bad, we cannot achieve that change that we want. But before we change our story, we also need to change our state. So let's go there in step 1. Change your state. Our thoughts and emotions affect our physiology, and vice versa. Our physiology, our body affects our thoughts and emotions. Let's go on the first part. For example, how would you notice if someone is depressed, if someone is sad? You just need to observe her or his body, right? You will see that they are looking down, they are talking very slow, their shoulders are down. So the thoughts and emotions change the body. How would you notice if someone is happy, is joyful, is energetic? Sample nga, someone energetic. Di ba? Like we see big gestures. We see someone looking up, see someone standing straight. If we win a lotto, for example, or Usain Bolt win a marathon, automatically, instinct yan. Our body will move. Yeah. Yeah. So our thoughts and emotions affect our body. And the vice versa is true. The vice versa is true. Our body, if we change our body, our physiology, we can also change our thoughts and emotions. We can increase them to a better level. And this is what happened during the pandemic when we have become isolated. We have less energy. Have you noticed that? Ako, personally, I'm an extrovert person. I'm a kind of go out. So I noticed myself with less energy. And it's like sometimes we feel dead. This is where Jesus wants to change our state. There is this one young boy in Nain before. And when Jesus saw that young boy, he said, "Young man, get up. Tayo." And there's also this one little girl. She's dead. And Jesus said to her, "Talita kumi," in Aramaic. "Little girl, I say to you, get up." Jesus wants us to get up. Not only our souls, but also our body, our physiology. And let us now get up. Jesus is telling us these words. Kyle, get up. Buan, get up. Nathan, get up. All of us, get up. So if you're ready, let us try to change our state, our physiological state. Let us get up from being dead to being alive again from the Lord. Okay, so if you're ready again, I invite you to get up. Get up. Tara, stand up tayo. You can turn on your camera. I will show you how effective the change of physiology in our change of minds and hearts. Okay, I will play again our favorite songs. Right, reading mo ba yan? Now I invite you to move. Just try to move. Okay? Okay. Matagal na kayo hindi nag-party. Yan, okay. So, time, I invite you to act if you have won a competition. Let your high delivery that you won the championship. How does it look like? And how does it sound? How does it sound? Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Finally! Lord! Thank you! Yeah! Okay. Try it. Okay, alright. So now, imagine that you're in love. You're in love. What does it look like? Someone in love. And the person you love tells you,
magaling si Kyle dyan.
someone you love tells you, you know what? I love you too. How does it feel? Yeah. Crazy, right? You know, imagine that you are surrounded by who are they? Family, friends, and you're dancing together. Okay. Now, we're gonna do some TikTok. Okay, I will increase the volume. And dance anything you want, like very. Okay, do you want more? Alright, palakpakan naman natin ang ating sarili. So, alright, pwede na kayo umupo ulit. Thank you for that. So how do you feel? I want to ask you now. How do you feel? Do you feel good? Do you feel more alive? Do you feel healthy?
Yes. Yes.
Di ba? Like you're more ready for action. You're ready to take on the battle. Right? Come on, give it all. Lahat ng assignments, lahat ng project, I can do that. All the works. Diba? So, it helps us. Right? So, let us change our physiological state and you will see that our minds and hearts are in the increased level. In Verbum Day, we call it animation. Anima, soul. So it animates your soul, your thoughts, and your feelings. And this will help us to put into actions the change that we want in our lives. Right? So that we're done with the change of state. We go to the change of story. Okay, change of the story. Believe what we believe. Take note of that again, your notebook. Let me tell you different stories now. I invite you to type into chat box the first thing that will come into your mind, the first thought or the first feeling. Okay? So get ready with your chat box. What if I tell you, or what if you believe that life is a battle? Okay, what's the first thing you think about? What's the first thing you feel? Life is a battle. Jot it down.
Kuya Jello, life is a what?
Life is a battle.
Battle. Okay, okay. But
Ayusin ko yung microphone ko. Ayan, battle. I hope you can hear me well. Yeah. Sabi ni Rudy, attack. Okay, so it's like you're always attacking, no? Like what? You have an enemy? Is that life? That you're always or in defense, maybe? You're in greed, stress. Yeah, if life is a battle. Now, tell me quickly. Just type it very quick. One word lang. One word, one thought, one feeling. Life is a test. Okay, life is a test. For me, the first thing I think, I need to perfect it. 100 over 100 dapat. Like there's a pressure there, maybe. Obstacles, yeah, need to get perfect. Pareho kami ni Kirby. We're that kind of person. Okay, life is paying bills. You just need to pay bills. That's life. It's about that. Cut cost. Baka stingy also. It's hard to be generous. Right? Life is just for surviving. Or life is a bubble. One day we're here, later on we're done. That's it. How about life is sacred? Okay, what do you feel? What is that first thought that comes into your mind? Life is sacred. Gratitude, sabi ni Anika. Nice. Faith. Meaningful. Yeah. So we see there are changes, right? Like what we believe is what we live, either unconsciously or consciously. So the question is, what is your life story? Your life story is the one you decide it to be. You have a freedom. You can choose. It's in your decision to believe. Life happens not to you, but for you. Life happens for you. Lahat to ay para sa iyo. Write it down. Not to you, but for you. All the joy, suffering, challenges, happiness, and sadness are for you to grow in life, for you to grow in loving. St. Paul said in his letter to the Romans, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Do not conform to the pattern of this world. There are many stories that this world is telling us. Stories that in the end of the day, we see and we test that are not fruitful, are not helping us. Don't conform also on the stories that we tell ourselves alone, but the story that will come from God. God tells us the true story. When I say story, it doesn't mean a fantasy book. You know? Our lives is a story. The story of Kai, the story of Rudy. God is telling us the right story. God is showing it to us through Christ. In Christ, we see the truth. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. He is the maximum revelation. And St. Paul also said, my life is Christ. What does it mean? My life is not anymore what others tell me, what I tell to myself, but what Christ tells me and shows me. My life is like the life of Christ, full of meaning, full of joy, full of energy, full of passion, full of purpose, full of friends, full of love. This is now my life coming from Christ. This is what St. Paul is saying. And this is what we can also live. And we need an act of faith. We need to take that act of faith. Christ is telling us the real story. You are loved. You are not alone. I will never abandon you. Life is a gift. Life is beautiful. Life is sacred. I am saved. I am complete. That's what is true. Take an act of faith. And now that we can change our story, not because others tell it to us, not because we tell it to ourselves, but because God is telling it to us through prayer, through our dialogue with Him who speaks through our hearts and through the Word of God. Now that we have learning how to renew our stories, then we can change our strategy. Change your strategy. I leave that up to you. Talk to God about it. Later on, we will have a 10 minutes time of prayer. Talk to God about your strategy. Maybe I would like to know more about you. I would like to dedicate more time in prayer, more consistent with you. I would like to know you more and who I am through you, not through what you are telling me. Or maybe I want to have this more exercise to always lift up and bring out the best in me. And I want to change my music playlist that maybe are not helping me, making me very pessimistic or anything else. And just talk to it about God. Live the life of Christ, full of meaning and full of fruits. Let me end by telling you a story. We went to Chile, South America, like around 2 years ago. We did our novitiate or our missionary formation course there. It is on the southern part of the other side of the world at the bottom part of USA, the Latin America. They speak Spanish there. Okay. And then there's this one time I was going to a mission with one brother, a Portuguese brother, and we rode a bus. Then we went to the backside and sat there. He was reading a book and I was just there sitting, thinking about the mission. Then suddenly there's this one boy who spoke to me. He said, "Hey bro, do you speak English?" I was surprised. He was around like 18 years old. No? And then I said to him, yes, yes, I speak English. Ah, yeah, very cool. That's nice. Yeah, I want to know more English. I want to speak English. So we talk there, we dialogue. And I noticed immediately that he is high. Parang nakadroga o nakainom. And then there's this one guy with him also. High din. Pero he's a different kind of high. He was like, ooh, ooh, ah. We were talking, he was shouting, he was very energetic, like the whole bus can hear our conversation. And then later on, I see him, he's bringing out his cell phone, he's looking at himself. It's like he's really in love of himself. Pogi ah. And then he gave me this bottle that he is drinking. And I said, no, no, I don't drink. I'm okay. I'm good. Then we talked, continued. Yeah. And then later on, he asked me, oh, what are you doing here? And then for me, I will not tell her or I will not tell him immediately that I'm a missionary. So I told him, I'm a student. Oh, what are you studying? I said, I'm studying life. Studying life? What's that? And then I asked him, what is life for you? Ikaw ba? What is life for you? And then his face suddenly changed. He became sad. He looked down and he said, sorry for the word, life is a bullshit. That's what he said. And I was surprised because he was like very lively. Whoa, wow, yeah. He was drinking. He was looking at his cell phone. Like he is the king of the world. But he said, life is a bullshit. And then later on, he said, look around you. There are a lot of suffering. There are a lot of death. And then the other guy with him, he said, life is colorless. It's boring. And then I listened to them. They were explaining themselves. And then when it was my time to speak, I told them, you know what, for me, life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. Look around you and you will see that life is beautiful. Unfortunately, they needed to go down already from the bus. But I left them that one story and that one invitation to look around. And then they said, thank you, gracias. And then they went down. I want to share with you that because that is what I have received from God. Life is beautiful. Yes, sometimes it's not easy, but it's worth it. It's meaningful. Life is a gift for you. God has given us the opportunity to live and exist here in this world. And God is providing us all that we need. God will never abandon us. Life is full of love. We just need to open our minds, our hearts to see that there are a lot and that we can love a lot. Life is beautiful. I'm leaving you these 3 questions to pray in 10 minutes. First, ask yourself, what are my life stories that are not helping me to live a better life? Second, what are the life stories that God is telling me? How can these stories change my life moving forward? I leave you now to talk to God personally, intimately, for 10 minutes in this time of prayer.